Everybody's peoples. Good day, all. I wanted to share this picture that my friend drew. You know, that type of chop busting friend that waits until you're in full swing, teeing off on the second hole before he hits the air horn. Yeah, one of them guys. While we inch ever closer to that seemingly inevitable digital footprint, world currency, and monetary tyranny, I thought we would talk about the values of things, as once again we seem to be poised to exacerbate the distorted values of natural things. For this piece, I'm going to use examples of women and silver. If you can't read what Illuminati Tommy is saying, Charlie Brown and Snoopy are headed up to the reset patch. Illuminati Tommy says, "Don't go, Charlie Brown. The great reset comes tonight." Snoopy scoffs, "Whatever, Tommy." To which Tommy continues, "And gives a second chance to good boys and girls." Biblically and naturally, the gold to silver ratio is 1 to 10. So for every one gold shekel was worth 10 silver shekels. For perspective of the recent distortion of the metals on March 18th of 2020, this whole kickoff of the lockdown, we had a gold silver ratio at 1 to 126. That's 12.5 times devalued against gold. We currently sit at 1 to 69, which is only half as bad. Abraham paid a bride price for his son Isaac to marry Rebekah, brother of Laban, with over 10.5 gold shekels, unmentioned amounts of silver, and presents for her family. Iyakab went to Laban and worked for 14 years for 2 wives, ending up with 4 women eventually. As we settle into Canaan, the standard price for a day's pay was 1 shekel of silver, and the bride price for a virgin was 50 shekels. This was the original idea of a dowry, or roughly 2 months' salary. If we put into the perspective that an ounce of silver is 2.5 shekels, or rather a 50 shekel bride price is equivalent to a roll of 20 ounces of silver. The current value for a roll of 20 ounces of silver at spot is 26 USD. 20 times 20 is $520. If we take a daily wage of $300 times a day times 50 days, it's still only $15,000. I have heard of bride prices these days of someone making $200 to $300 a day's yearly salary. And where are you today? You're going to find virgins of age. King Shalimah, mostly known as Solomon, had 700 wives and 300 concubines. In perspective, King Shalimah paid 35,000 days pay of the common man, or the total earnings of 19 years of the common man's life, for 700 wives. In his time, silver meant nothing, as it states. A new top-of-the-line Egyptian chariot went for 600 shekels of silver. A fit horse was 150 shekels, while a bride price was 50 shekels. This says quite a bit about what the concerns of the day were, with all the neighboring countries being possibly hostile and the need for security. In the Tanakh, supposedly from Shalimah, it says, "A good person is fairly rare to find, and is never a woman." If so, that would mean something, but the only defining detail that it's Shalimah is that it was from the son of David. If it was from his brother Absalom, who raped his sister, then, you can't really take his word on it. On the contrary, supposedly when asked before the wise men of Babylon, what is the greatest treasure and the greatest weapon, Zerubbabel replied, "A woman. For no treasure is greater than that which you bring other treasure to, and no greater destructive weapon is there than a dissatisfied woman that destroys lives, homes, and kingdoms." In the Tanakh, the regular women were not generally fornicators. This was set aside for the prostitutes and could be adulterators as well. It was a disgrace to your family's house to have sex outside of marriage. In a Proverbs verse, it says how the last quart of wheat goes to the harlot. I'm not exactly sure how much quantity of wheat cost back then, but in any denomination, it sounds super cheap to me. In today's world, we're so backwards that a woman gives away the milk for free and sometimes picks up the bill in order to do so. The overdressing and the skimpy clothing can diminish a woman's value. I just walked out of the store this evening on the way to head, well, not evening yet, on the way to head home for Sabbath, and this younger girl, her cheeks were hanging out of her. It was, I don't know how people dress like that. She just, totally devalues herself. This also fuels the pandemics of viewing internet porn, masturbation, and perversion, which leads to homosexuality. Although the powers that want to be have been hard at work to bring us to that biodigital era, if they get it, it will be short-lived, because Yahuwah, creator of all of us, has his own agenda with an era of different values. In Isaiah 4:1, it says, "In that day, 7 women will approach one man and say, 'We will eat our own food and wear our own clothes, but please give us your name and take away our shame.'" The promise was not for us to go to heaven next. It was to return Israel back to Canaan. God bless. Have a good day. See you.